So glad you could make it for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. We're in the third month of the year, on the 67th day, and in the expression of three quotes put together. Time is not refundable, so use it with intention because, believe it or not, wherever your attention goes, that's where time goes. So let us choose to be productive because action is the foundational key to all success. Therefore, as of today, make the most of your days. On the show today, we take you to the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center to see the remarkable work being done to restore hope from deep despair. Plus, we'll also look at giving back through voluntary service. Hello there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us.
Have you heard? Starting April 1, 2024, the JUTC fares will drop by 50%. And here's your key. To enjoy these savings, you'll need the JUTC Smarter Card. The JUTC fares come April 1, 2024 will be as follows. Regular fare, $50, children's fare, $20, and the fare for pensioners, $25. But wait, there's more. New and existing cardholders will benefit from an additional 3 free rides. Ready to hop on board? Swing by the Halfway Tree Transport Center, JUTC's downtown hub, or the Greater Portmore office to obtain or replace your Smarter Card. Just bring your ID, birth certificate, and the cash to load onto your Smarter Card. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Sign up today and secure your Smarter Card.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, March 7, 2024. Jamaica has received its highest ever credit rating from the Fitch Ratings Agency since it started rating the country's debt 18 years ago. Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clarke is highlighting that achievement as the International Ratings Agency announced on March 5 that it had upgraded Jamaica's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating, IDR, to BB-, with the outlook remaining positive. Minister Clarke says it's yet another testament to the effectiveness of the government's economic policy-making framework. He adds that the focus now must be to leverage these improvements to benefit all Jamaicans. Fitch, through its press release, highlighted the government's commitment to delivering large primary surpluses, which has supported a significant reduction in Jamaica's debt burden. The positive outlook reflects the expectation of continued improvement in debt metrics and further deepening of the policy framework over the medium term. Fitch's rating action is the third upgrade for Jamaica in the current 2023-2024 fiscal year, which ends March 31. It follows positive actions by Standard & Poor's Global Ratings on September 13 last year and Moody's Ratings on October 18, 2023. The government is still on track to complete and launch Phase 1 of the National Identification System, NIDS, in the new fiscal year, which begins April 1. This phase will involve the enrollment process and issuance of the national identification cards. The details are outlined in the estimates of expenditure that's now before the Standing Finance Committee of Parliament. It's one of the targets highlighted in the capital budget for the Office of the Prime Minister. The work is being done under the implementation of the National Identification System for Economic Growth project. With an allocation of $1.34 billion, this will continue the NIDS communication strategy, as well as the modification and upgrading of 11 post offices to serve as enrollment sites. In the new fiscal year, digitization of the Registrar General's Department, RGD's civil records, will be done, and the department's e-wallet and digital birth certificate are to be launched. The OPM also projects that it will complete the framework for implementing RGD's transition to the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA. Achievements under the project at the end of December 2023 include the enactment of the NIRA Act and completion of the regulations. Also, a pilot enrollment exercise for NIDS was conducted and upgrading of the eGov data center done. The Ministry of National Security is to complete construction on the forensic pathology autopsy suite within the upcoming financial year. Under the line item in the 2024-2025 estimates of expenditure, $50 million has been set aside in the capital budget to facilitate the closeout of the project and to observe the defects period. It is being built at a cost of $547 million, and at the end of December last year, 85% of the construction was completed. The completed facility is expected to increase the forensic capacity of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and reduce the backlog of criminal cases and others in the courts. During a previous tour of the autopsy suite, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang said the government was investing in forensic science with the understanding that science was the next frontier of law enforcement to ensure swift and sure justice.
This government has made a commitment, I said, to equip the security forces to deal with the demands of the crime today. It encompasses using science and providing the scientific tools. And the autopsy suite will represent the last activity in a phase to create one of the finest institutes of forensic science and legal medicine in the Western Hemisphere.
The project has been extended to February 2025. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill, says government is taking decisive action to identify new markets for Jamaica's world-famous Blue Mountain coffee.
We're looking for new markets in Europe, the Middle East, and of course the United States is a big market for us. China seems to be coming in, but Japan is our main market.
He says his ministry is committed to ensuring that farmers have the best market access for their products.
We at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce want to make sure that they get the investments they need and the markets they require to convert their coffee into income for themselves and their family.
The industry minister was among those in attendance at last weekend's Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. Now in its 7th staging, the festival was held at the Newcastle Parade Grounds. And finally, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says there are plans to expand the Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. During this weekend's staging, the minister said the time had come for more heavy private sector participation in planning the event.
We've been talking about expanding to different locations across Jamaica. And the Ministry of Tourism, through the Tourism Enhancement Fund, has been pretty integral to building out the strength and capacity of the festival to expand and grow. And we think it is at the point where a more heavy private sector intrusion is necessary to give it more legs, more body, and to take it beyond the Newcastle location.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, Dr. Kerry Wallace, says there is a lot of tourism value to our gastronomy offerings and not just the traditional pull of sun, sea, and sand. He asserts that the festival serves as a catalyst to build out Jamaica's coffee industry in a way that will see visitors coming just for that experience, further helping the sector to flourish.
In Italy alone, there are 19 million people that travel for wine tours in Italy. We get 4 million people to Jamaica total for all experiences. Can you imagine if we build up a mountain coffee experience, a mountain coffee tour that they're stopping on the trail, buying food, buying drinks, buying coffee, buying beverages, transportation, accommodation. There's so much of an ecosystem that has to be built out if we are to develop that kind of tourism, and that's the potential we have here.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Public passenger vehicle operators and commercial carriers, renew your road license online. It's as easy as 1-2 click. Visit the Transport Authority website at www.ta.org.jm. Choose your license type and click Apply Now. Sign in or create an account with your email address and complete the application process, uploading all relevant documents. Make payment using a debit or credit card. Once your application is approved, the Transport Authority will email you to collect your sticker. Pick up your sticker in office or utilize our courier service. Once the sticker is collected, your digital road license will be emailed to you. For more information, call the Transport Authority toll-free at 888-991-5687.
Life is often layered with unforeseen circumstances, and preparation is too often the uncalculated element. For one child we met, an unforeseen circumstance changed her life. But through a stroke of hope, the courage to recover, and the very capable hands of some medical experts, her story is evolving into a different one. Here's enabling through rehabilitation.
My name is Nastasia Edwards. I'm 14 years old. I attend Immaculate Conception High School, and I'm currently at the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center. I'm here because of a car accident that occurred on the 14th of October, leaving me paralyzed from the waist down.
Nastasia Edwards is one of many children in the pediatric ward at the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center. Formerly known as the Mona Rehabilitation Center, it was founded in 1954 by an orthopedic surgeon named Sir John Golding to treat patients during the polio epidemic and caters to all ages.
In the case of Nastasia, she had this injury to her spine, which then caused the spinal cord to be damaged, and it happened roughly from her waist down. So she's not able to move her legs, but she has full function of her arms, which is why we're doing what we're doing in terms of strengthening her arms to do everything for herself.
A typical day here, I wake up, I have breakfast, I go to gym, and I come back from gym, I have lessons.
Most young children at the center are integrated into the Hope Valley Experimental School, a government-operated school which provides education up to the GSAT level, or work with a tutor to continue their studies.
We don't want any child who is admitted, who has, her school life has been disrupted. We don't want it to be disrupted any further. So where we can, we get a tutor in, whether it's through the school or through from our side, the arrangement is made. She's on the cushion, and now she's going to push up on the blocks. Count it, Nastasia, and breathe.
Up again, 4. Very good. One, last one. Good.
Awesome. So, in terms of what we do for her in physiotherapy, we ensure that she's strong enough to be able to lift up herself in the chair, to push the wheelchair, and that requires even a special technique, but it also requires strength. So when she first came to us, Nastasia could barely push a wheelchair. She could barely sit up, but she tolerates so much more now. She's sitting up and balancing, and she is doing really, really well.
Gym is hard work because I want to be back on my feet, so I have to work hard and always keep in my mind that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The difficult exercises are when I have to transfer from a wheelchair to another place. So I have to go on the mat, and then I have to go on my belly, and it hurts a lot because I have a scar on my tummy. My favorite exercise is the one where you do this, the pecs. Yeah, that's what it's called, pecs.
And so she's pulling the beans together, and she's actually pulling 72 pounds. And I would suppose she started off at maybe 24 as well. Yes. And now she's at 72 pounds.
Whenever I'm doing my physio and I find it hard, they're always like, yeah, you can do it, you can do it.
She also gets strong support from her parents who visit almost every day.
From she has been here, we've been closer because I try to give her as much support And when I'm not here, I call her and strengthen her mentally because I don't want her to get depressed. I have seen her looking much healthier now, and she's feeling much better now. She's doing things that she never could do before. It makes me feel great, and I'm very hopeful.
What we aim to achieve for our patients is to ensure that our patients are rehabilitated. And when we say rehabilitated, we mean within the limits of their disability. We want to return them to as much function as possible prior to the injury. And then, of course, once we have rehabilitated them, the intention is to get them back into society, reintegrate them into society, whether it's back to school, back to work, depending, of course, on the age of the person. Well, in terms of the services offered here, physiotherapy services, medical services, and the nursing services, the social work services, the dietetic services as well, and we have a counseling psychologist who, again, will help patients with adjusting to their disability.
Aware of the many barriers persons with disabilities face trying to integrate into society, financial support from the NGO Monex Limited provides job opportunities for the center's patients. Skills development is also facilitated through workshops on woodwork, graphics, photocopying, printing, and binding. And patients interested in pursuing sports have the opportunity to train and represent the country on an international level through the Jamaica Paralympic Association.
Sometimes I have mixed emotions because I'm not able to move around freely like a normal person would. But sometimes I have my hopes up. I trust in God, and I think positively that I'll get to out of the wheelchair, walk again, and live life to the fullest.
All creators, join the JIS Creators Challenge.
We want to see your unique perspective on why you love Jamaica.
Whether it's through a Jamaican adventure, arts and craftsmanship, or Jamaican cuisine.
Or party lifestyle or a celebration of our Otamaniwan people culture.
Unleash your creativity in a video 1 minute or less, showcasing why you love Jamaica.
Upload your video to your socials and tag JIS by March 8th.
Follow us on all our platforms for more info
on how to enter and prizes to be won. Stay tuned!
Being a justice of the peace is a voluntary act that requires commitment to upholding the law and achieving justice. Let's find out what it takes to become one of these peacekeepers.
When you offer your service across Jamaica, it is absolutely important for you to be fair-minded. Ensure that fair play at all times is displayed, a person dispensing justice, ensuring that peace is maintained across Jamaica. To assist in solving the many problems that we are encountering in Jamaica.
We see them all over the country. We know their names. We employ their services for signing important documents, among other things. But do we know the extent of their functions? Or how one even becomes a justice of the peace? Come, watch as we open the gates to the historical peacekeepers of our nation.
I'm appointed through the Ministry of Justice, and as a JP, you have to be very, very confidential. So people can come to you and they can confide in you with whatever, and you can be that person that they can talk to. You have to be a person of integrity, a person who is an unquestionable background.
You're joining a vocation that has been in existence and started from the 12th century. From 1195, the king, known as King the Lion-Hearted, said to the knights, we need distinguished persons to operate in boroughs, communities, right across England. So find some persons who can keep the peace. From 1195, over 800 years ago. persons who were appointed were known as keepers of the peace. It was only in the 14th century that the term justice of the peace became the JP that you are now.
Ministry of Justice call us peacekeeper, and people do call us peacekeeper because we do keep the peace. Some of our duties that I perform, I witness documents for people, I do recommendations for some of the youths who want a job. I also do recommendations for persons who want to be surety to bail another person. So there are multiple things that I do as a justice of the peace.
The role of a JP is a voluntary one. So these officers are not to accept cash or any form of reward for the work done in their capacity as JPs.
It's something that you will do out of your heart. You have to do it as a person. You have to do it as a Jamaican. You have to love your country. And I believe that we have to stop asking the question what our country can do for us and to want to help to change our country, to change the justice system.
From there, the steps to become a justice of the peace are fairly simple. You must be a Jamaican citizen residing in the country during the time of appointment. You must be able to read and speak English fluently. You must be able to communicate and interact at all levels with all types of people. You must be a person of undeniable integrity who commands the respect of the local community. And you must be a person who has offered voluntary service to the community and the country by extension, while indicating the potential for continued service. But always remember, as a JP, you're offering a very valuable service to your country.
It's a fulfilling job, but it's also a tiring one. So I want to say to fellow justice of the peace out there, please, do it for the love. As what I said, do it for the love, not for the likes. You understand me? Make sure you're doing your job correctly. You signed up for a position to help people, help people.
The public sector touches the life of every single Jamaican. And that is why the government is transforming the way the public sector operates by making better use of technology to improve the delivery of public services, by improving the compensation of public sector workers to attract and retain the skills needed to run a modern and efficient public service, through the training of workers to drive performance, innovation, and decision-making, by reducing waste and eliminating corruption, and other measures to make sure the country gets the best value from every dollar spent. The government of Jamaica is building a better public sector for all.
Finally on the show today, let's head over to the Administrator General's Department to understand the definition of a spouse and what he or she is entitled to in the event of a death without a will.
Anna, why you knocking down my door? What is it?
Jackie, me don't know what to do. From Jason dead, I have nothing to give to the children and I don't know where to turn.
So why you didn't go down to the Administrator General's department, the place I told you about the other day?
Lord Jackie, me know you try to help me, you know. But remember say me and Jason never did marry, you know.
What do you mean by that, Anna? The law say if a single man and a single woman live together as husband and wife for 5 years and more immediately before death, then he or she is considered a spouse.
Really? That mean me can't get something then? Cause boy, it rough, you know.
Yes, man, just go down there, tell them about the case that Jason died leaving no will, house and children under 18 years. Go down there and see what them can do for you.
A true you're talking, Jackie. Where is the place there again?
Down a waterfront, man. 12 Ocean Boulevard. Go down there, talk to them and see if them can help you.
Okay, I'm going down there right now.
morning, madam. How are you?
Good morning, miss. I hear that the Administrator General's department can help me. You see, my children, them father died, leaving me with the 2 pitney them, and I'm me alone I care for them.
Did he leave a will?
My will, ma'am. After Jason never ready for dead, how come him come from work and drop down dead? My friend tell me say under the law, I'm considered a spouse. By the way, who is a spouse?
Under the Interstates, Estates and Property Charges Act, a spouse is a single man and woman living together as husband and wife for 5 years or more. By living together, the two persons should not have been separated at any time during the 5 years immediately before death. A surviving spouse includes a person who is legally married. That is, he or she went in front of a pastor and took the vow of marriage. If Anna meets the requirements, she can hire an attorney at law or go to the legal aid clinic to apply for an order from the court declaring that she's a spouse. Some of the questions the court will look at are: did Anna and Jason break up during the 5 years? Did Jason have any children born in the same year as Anna's children? The court will also want to know if Anna or Jason were married before and not divorced. Once the order has been granted, the spouse would be entitled to benefit from the estate of the deceased. For further information, you can visit the Administrator General's Department in Kingston, 3rd floor at the Office Center Building, 12 Ocean Boulevard, or call us at 922-183023. You can also visit our Western office at the 2nd floor of the National Housing Trust Building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via X at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.